Bars.
You know?
So I don't know if we have any intro or any type of thing to do, but this week we all attacked and dove into Jeffrey Epstein and different variables involved in that. Now, for each of you gentlemen, what did you watch it on? Did you start with that Netflix documentary? Did you go anywhere else? How long did it take you to watch? Did you go 1, 2, 3, 4? Did you binge? Did you what's up?
Yeah, so I had watched it when I first watched it, and then you know what I mean. I watched like the first 6 episodes, and I binge watched, and then you know, then in a couple of days, you know, watched the rest of it.
Yep.
Wait. 6. I only saw 4 on Netflix.
There was I watched the whole joint. I know I watched.
Okay. You fucking with me? I thought I'm missing something.
Yeah.
They left it.
Then I saw the rest. And then I saw the rest afterwards. But I did binge watch a few episodes, you know what I mean, nonstop.
Yep.
But yeah, because at first the reason why was because I was hearing all about this dude, you know what I'm saying? And like, thank you, baby. And I didn't really know what he was about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then when I heard his story and how he was this money guy and how he used to rub elbows with famous and with famous people and this and that. So I'm like, to me, I thought he was just like a regular rich guy until you know what I mean, you get into the meat and the meat and potatoes of things, and then you see what he really is about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That shit was crazy as hell. I binged it myself just the couple nights ago where I watched I think 1, 2 and then 1, 2. Microphone 1, 2. I think I broke down to 4 like that.
Yeah.
And wow, I tell you, man, it was crazy, man. That just money, man, make a motherfucker do, you know, whatever the fuck he feel like, you know. And how long he got away with that shit? How long was he getting away? You know what I mean? Like police stations, FBI's. How deep his money went? You got to the FBI, the government. You talking about government money now? You know what I'm saying? And
I mean, who do you know?
I think it's more politicians wrapped up in shit.
Yeah.
Who do you know, right, that makes all this money? And then here's the thing. Nobody really knows how he made his money.
Yeah, there's the thing where they're saying maybe when he was the financial advisor, he might have done some skimming off the top. But to what you're saying, yeah, they still said nobody really knows.
Nobody really knows how he acquired wealth. That's a big.
Well, that ex-partner of him said he was, you know, he kind of rolled on him when shit hit the fan when they was all on the scheme. That nigga did. He got 20 years. I don't know if he did the whole 20. He said they gave him 20 years for that. The guy for that company.
Yeah.
Oh,
now
shit.
check it out, right? And then if you know what I'm saying, and then after that, right? How the guy told him, listen, this is what we doing. You know what I'm saying? So you might go to jail for this if we get caught, right? Then Jeffrey's like, no. I'm not gonna get caught.
I got favors out there.
I'm not gonna get caught. You're gonna get caught. Basically, he's telling him, brother, I'm untouchable. If anything, you're going down. I'm gonna be all right.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Man, I remember hearing this story a while ago about, because I heard about Pedophile Island. I remember hearing about Pedophile Island.
Yes.
Because I've always been in and out of the conspiracy scene. Like sometimes it gets too crazy for me. Other times I'll go back and forth. And ever since I was young, but I remember hearing about Pedophile Island even when I wasn't too deep into conspiracies. Like it was something that kind of made its way out, right? Like a lot of people had heard about it. And then I watched it, same with you, like you did, Raps. I watched 2 episodes, then I watched 2 episodes, but I rewatched episode 4 like 2 more times after that because, I mean no disrespect, but for all the women that aren't famous that went through it, that is part of it. But just for the normal human psyche, it's more exciting when they start talking about the famous people. You know what I mean? So I really do mean
it's more sizzling. You're like, what, Bill Clinton? I was never there, and you were in logs on the plane to go.
Exactly. It's like I mean no disrespect to any victim, but there certain names do hold more weight and make you go, oh my God, even though it's a terrible thing that happened to all the, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And the time in Africa, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To me,
my mother was so disappointed. She said, Michael, Chris Tucker was on the plane. The picture. I'm like, he was.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy though?
But the thing is this though, a lot of people that went to his island, you know what I'm saying, just went to it like.
That's what I said.
Yep.
But then after like the dinners and the things that he would host, then it became then the real shit came after that. You know what I'm saying?
It seemed like R. Kelly rapped way too much about the after party. You know what I'm saying? And that seems to be what it was. It's like after the party is the after party, and then
right.
come out.
Because remember,
wow,
they probably just had
shit, bro. I saw the light just now. I just saw the light. Oh my god. After the after party. Holy shit. After the party's the after party.
It's the after party.
Yeah, after.
Put that together, man. Holy shit.
After the after.
Me too. I didn't have that in the stash. I came up with it right now too.
Yo, bro. And imagine how long he been saying this shit too. Like, you know what I mean? So what you think? You think R. Kelly was down with Epstein too?
Probably.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. Because he was into the young girls.
Sick rich people find each other, man.
That's the other thing too. How we're talking about Epstein got caught, and I know that we're not pretending this, but just to put it out into the air, yo, think about when you go buy weed. You only got one weed dealer. Like, yeah, you got one that you deal with, but you know that there's others out there. So I'm sure, like, bro, I'm sure one out of who knows how many. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it seems like he was good at it because he had all the famous people, but.
Right.
That might be one stop. You know, think of how many famous people go to different clubs. It's probably it's just a different life, man. He was probably one of them that got knocked down. Now there's probably different rules out there so you can go do it now. You know, they probably switched up their whole game too.
My thing is he was probably the biggest one in the United States.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The craziest thing to me was that the term, man, and to think about it was a fucking a molestation pyramid scheme. Like,
yes,
and you know what I mean? Yo, come bring two back. That's a pyramid. He used a business pyramid scheme that had young girls that were lost in life and had fucked up problems and was going to run for that money to keep doing this and bringing people back.
So to set it up a little bit for people that might not know, Jeffrey Epstein was a very rich man, and there's always that word philanthropist that gets thrown around for people that are just like, yo, we don't know what you do. You know what I mean? Like we're not really sure what you do, so you're a philanthropist and you're fucking rich as hell. So what we're talking about, we watched a documentary on. Now this guy, he likes to be massaged, and it seems to turn into more, but that's how they get him through the door is the word massage by younger women or women close to the age and definitely underage as well.
Yep.
And so what we're talking about, it seems so brazen because
filthy rich, by the way, too. Filthy rich.
Yep. He would have, I don't know how they first found the girls, but Ghislaine Maxwell seemed to be his like
she was the one.
She's the girl. She was hooking people in.
She's the madam.
She was the madam.
She was the you could call the conductor.
Yeah. The organizer. She when you walk into the restaurant, she was the hostess. If you
right.
Like,
so you think about it, she had that comfort. What comfort level for that young girl will be more than like, well, this lady ain't gonna do that. You know, that's one of the last things like a young girl would probably think. More than the creepy guy is gonna be almost a given. But now the wife is here. She's real inviting. You would, they're not gonna think. But maybe I would, you wouldn't think the wife would set you up like that. But then this shit's happening, and these young girls are stuck, and now it's like. They already fucked up in life, doing whatever to get money, and they probably doing shit for the money that they don't want to do. Who are they gonna tell? Who gonna listen to them?
Yeah, and something I'd like to dive into a little bit more is how we were talking about Jeffrey Epstein feeling so bulletproof that you are so out in the open to where it was they would get a girl. If the girl didn't want to do something sexual, they would say, hey, bring somebody else that will, and I'll give you $200. But it wasn't on the low. It was just then it became, like you said, like almost when somebody that you haven't spoken to since high school calls you up and like, yo, I got this business idea. And you're like, and that's what it was. It was just a multi-level.
The crazy was that they were schoolgirls, not high school, like almost like freshman, middle school to middle school girls, to freshman girls. You know what I mean? Where like they would leave messages on pads saying, well, she can't make it at this time because, she doesn't get out of class or out of school.
That
at
was
this
crazy.
time.
That shit
You
on
know
the
what I
pad.
mean?
Yep.
That
You
was
know what I
crazy
mean?
as
Like,
fuck.
you know what I'm saying? Then you know when he gets arrested the first time, you know what I mean? It was like, oh, he's just money. You know, we can't really do this to him because he's he contributes to the police. You know what I mean? He contributes to this cause. He gives money to that cause. I mean,
The police department dumped. Remember, they said when he first moved into Florida, he went to the police department and fucking dumped us. I think $100 some $1,000 on him. Huh? Put in the department for equipment. You know what I mean? That's how you make friends. You
That's
buy
how
them
you
out.
definitely make friends in the right places. You know what I'm saying? And then the thing, I think what motivated him to keep doing it was how the people would come to him. These actors, famous people, like, yo, listen, we're having this event. You can come, you know, bring some girls.
Yeah.
All right.
You know they do that, man. You talking about?
Yeah.
That's why I wouldn't even doubt at the island. They probably just have, you know, orgies with girls that were even older. You know what I mean? 20. Because remember, some of them girls were 22. That one girl that I don't know. A couple of my I ain't gonna front. A couple of my I ain't really believe 100%.
Right.
Like when you keep you say, well, I kept going around him for 3-4 years. At that point, it's like, honey, you can't tell me that like at 22 you don't know you're being abused. That's like, you're getting money.
You know what you're doing that. You know what you're doing. You know what you're getting yourself.
Right. At 22, 23, I can't bite it as much as a 14-year-old. 14-year-old, I kind of get that's more manipulation of the mind and shit. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that young. 22, 23, and you getting flown out to fucking islands and shit. Come on, honey. At some point, you probably wanted that bread. And a lot of them from them videos look like they were living pretty well.
Listen,
I don't know where that money came from.
Don't get it confused, people. Don't get it confused. There's a lot of girls out there that didn't come forward because that's how
they got their money and they were okay with it. There's also that too. But then too, and anybody underage can't.
College degrees, you know what I mean? They got great careers, a great life because of me. You know what I'm saying? And again, it goes to the bonus, the branding, the bare face. You know what I mean? Just being bold. You know what I mean? Like
And so people are embarrassed. They don't want to come forward with that. They're embarrassed.
Like in his mind, he was doing them a favor.
Yep.
In his mind, like, look at them. They wouldn't have nothing if it wasn't for me.
Yeah, yo, and honestly, I had that thought at the documentary when and we're fast forwarding the documentary here, but when all the women, when he gets arrested the second time and all the women are going to court, and how they're talking about their relationship with each other, and I was thinking, I was like, yo, there probably is a sick part out there that they would hate to admit to, where it's like, damn, all these women met each other and we all get along really well, but the reason that we met each other is fucked up, but there also is that weird, like, damn, we came together for a reason. We feel like sisters. Everything is good.
It was a small part that they're scared to admit that they enjoy it because there was a lot of money. You're talking, this guy's a fucking billionaire.
Yeah.
You're doing things and you're going places and seeing things you've never seen in your life.
Yep.
And you probably never will. So some people are afraid to admit that they're willing to sacrifice their own morals for some shit like that.
Yeah. And I will say, of course, anybody underage, no, you can't make that choice. But anybody above age, like you were saying, the women that are 22, shit like that,
more like the girls that were like 22 and, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, even 17, 18 is kind of like, it's still young-minded, but like at 17, 18, I mean, shit, 18, they say we're an adult, right? So.
But I do think, too, that we still do have to get a concrete across the nation. What age are you allowed to fuck? Because that's some ugly shit when they're just like, well, you know, and then you went to this state, but this state was okay because you can fuck 16-year-olds in this state. And that, like, man, I get that we have a lot of state shit, but come on, dude. Like, that shit is.
But he found the way. He found the loop. He found the loop of it all. You know what I'm saying? He found the loop where it's like, listen, I'm paying them. You know what I mean? Like, this is my prostitute. This is my concubine kind of thing. No, she's only 14. What the fuck you mean? What are you talking about? So that's how he played it. He played it like, no, these are my prostitutes. Like, I'm paying, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how he used to get by, because people wasn't really looking in deep, and they was like, rich motherfucker that got a wild. He was paying.
Well, that was the thing too. He said he told the front desk lady that they were Victoria's Secret test shoots, right?
Yep. That was his. I mean,
Fucking
it's like they're
nuts.
all the same story. I have no doubts in my mind. This guy was fucking sick, man. He did it to a lot of girls for a long time, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
you could.
and you know, I almost feel like if more of with that first young lady that was a painter and her young sister, if
Yeah.
more
First,
did
those were
that,
first. Yeah.
if more would have did that when it was happening, it would have helped build the case more. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because as soon as that happened to them, what they do, they went straight to the police department.
Yep.
Made the complaint and nothing ever happened from it. She said, I never heard nothing. And they showed the affidavit of it, the actual complaint. Here's an actual complaint she made to the police department saying exactly what the fuck she said. And they looked past it because he was that money, man. You know,
Yeah.
And
that's
then
the
it
thing.
didn't hit till maybe what was it, like 8 years down the line when
Yeah.
the next girl came up out of it, and then that's when they started getting serious. But peep game. How about Epstein dictating the court offices and having a private court date with the head Supreme DA, with the head Supreme District Attorney at the time,
Cut a deal.
and cut
And the crazy deal,
with
it was
nobody there.
yeah.
Like,
And
who
the
does
people
when
that-
you're talking about childhood, like fucking, molestation charges and shit. Like, what? This
Yeah,
nigga just they don't get a chance. He just fucking I'll take this and I'm good.
Yeah,
What?
they found out like everybody else. They were just like, oh, we settled. We didn't know.
How do you say, listen, I'm gonna do this. I agree that I'm gonna take this, and boom,
Yeah.
that's what happened. He said, I'll
Yeah.
do 18 months, but you're gonna give me a prostitution charge. Not no molestation charge, not no sex trafficking, sexual assault, nothing. I'll take the prostitution charge. I'll do 18 months.
And it was in there that like they couldn't charge him with the shit again, to where it
Right.
was like, "All right, you've been charged, so now that one's off the board. You can't be charged with that again." It was crazy.
No
Right.
double jeopardy. That's all done. Yo,
Yeah.
it's sickening, man. It's a whole movement. You know what I call it? I'm gonna come up with it right now. It's called the MOM. MOM. Money over morals, man. Money over morals. That's what the fuck is happening. People will be willing to know that this man is fucking guilty, knowing he did that shit. You're willing to take a fucking price tag so he can get away. Because
Yeah.
I fuck morals, man. I got a daughter. Fuck that. That's what it is. You got a daughter. That could have been your daughter. That's how
Right.
you feel.
Right.
You take the price tag to make sure you eating all right. While
Right.
this
Yo.
person could be fucking suffering. Come on,
Yo,
man.
and think how brazen it was to, like we were saying, in those early days when he was just like, yo, just tell your friends. If anybody wants to come over, fuck it, come over. And then he got caught because one of the girls was at school, got into a fight. And I guess when you get into a fight, whatever, you go down to the principal's office and they're like, all right, take everything out of your pockets. She had like $300 and couldn't explain where it came from.
Mhm.
That's how you got caught. Like, but that's back to what we're saying about imagine having the amount of balls of like, that's how free you are with it, of fuck it. Whoever
Yep.
finds out, finds out. Like nobody's signing nothing. No one's doing nothing. It's just fuck it. Go ahead.
Just get some
Like,
random girl, bring her to my house. Keep
Yeah.
doing it. Keep doing it. It's such a fucking arrogant, ballsy move because you seen in the interview, how, everything was just strategic. Everything I plead the fifth and this and this and that. I can't lie. I hysterically laughed. It's
Do you
fucking
have
funny. Is it fair to say that your penis is described as shaped like an egg? I
Right.
kind of
Yes.
lost my shit a little bit.
Right.
hell yeah.
What? You know what I'm saying?
And then he gets to it's like round at the bottom, narrow at the top. Is that fair to say? Like he was trying to get under his skin. I get
Hell
it.
yeah.
I was like, what? That's like Michael Jackson's one when they asked him about it having spots on his dick or something that the kid described.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know what I mean?
Come on.
Who
But-
made that
but
joke?
I think the reason why this dude was the way he was because he knew it. Because I think once he had his because I believe this all happened by coincidence. You know what I mean?
Getting caught or
No, like the way it started. I believe how it started was just by coincidence, just getting it random girl. You just get a random girl come through, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. Then I think I don't know how to Maxwell. How you pronounce it?
Ghislaine or yeah.
Ghislaine,
some-
yes.
But Maxwell's of course fine.
Let's-
London.
Let's call her the Jizz.
Jizzy Max.
Yeah. Right. So,
Nobody beats the jizz.
she came up and saw this as an opportunity. Like, hey,
We can make this a factory. Like,
that's my thing. I think that's
She
how
might
that
have
went
got him
down.
into it. I don't
And
know
then
because
him, with
wait,
his, with his attitude, his temperament, and and his money and his influences was like, okay, do that.
yeah.
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
But quick,
And
let me interject real quick because previously, before he was with her, he was doing shit like that. Remember when they talked about him doing the fake, telling them they're gonna be, and that was like in late '80s, I think, or some shit like that.
Yeah, you're right.
Late '80s or something like that. They had a story about him in his earlier time of him always being around a young girl. So they kind of trailed
it
him
was
back
there.
then.
It was there. It was
Right.
there. But I think just
What
Lane
he was doing with the
made
massage thing.
made it more obtainable for him.
Yeah, because she was going out and fishing a lot of the times.
Yes.
She was
I
in
think
the pond pulling out the perch.
To me, he was the money behind the operation.
Right. But you know
Yeah.
what? I look at it though too. If you think about it, when they broke her story down, how her father was a fucking millionaire, you know what I mean? And then she was used to that life. So basically, her father died. She went searching for that kind of guy. She found somebody. Now, if you trying to keep that billionaire in your pocket, she might have stumbled across his little dark secret. So
And
now, in order for her, and
feeding it
just
to
so
him
she
to
can stay
him around. Yeah.
just to stay in line, she be like, look, I'm gonna feed your demons to keep myself wealthy. Wow. That's fucking like people are out there like that, man.
Throwing him into that sacrifice pit.
Right.
No, but
Like,
but you know what? Just hit me real quick. Why are so many? I like the double cup on a Tuesday. Why are so many fucking rich people pedophiles? Like, what is the fucking connection? Is it that like you've had all the pussy that you could ever want, and you're like, well, no, I gotta go this way or this way. I don't know, fuck. Like,
thank you, sir.
What's
that's
that
a
connection?
Sickness, man. This guy's probably had it for a long time. If they dig deep, they might have had some shit happen to them or something, or they've come across it somehow. I don't know, man. I think sometimes
I cannot connect those dots either. Like, you got so much fucking money. You got, you know what I mean? You could just pick up a phone call, or you could just go to the street and say, hey, you know me, right? Yeah, how you doing? Hey, you
go to the beach, right?
You know,
like a fucking Bentley at the beach and pick up.
All right,
right.
You would think a person with wealth, money, a little bit of influence wouldn't struggle in that aspect of life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You would think it would come easy.
But you got to remember, this is a sexual addicted, like, weird fantasy shit that he's feeding. You understand?
Yep.
So it's like saying a guy that he's infatuated with BBWs. I don't fuck number BBWs. You throw a skinny chick at him, he starts fucking malfunctioning and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's not his feed. You know what I mean? And it's a sickness and almost a feed for them. And you know what I mean? And that's what they're doing. And they need help to get out of that fucking zone, if you ask me. I don't know if they're
when they first was interviewing him,
huh?
right? When they was showing the parts of him getting interviewed by the guy, right? I'm over here thinking like, yeah, but come on, like I'm over like there was a little bit of it at one point. I'm like, damn, but this guy's a little too hard, you know?
Right, boxed in.
And then, right, they discuss what they find in his crib.
Yeah.
Then when they start describing the shit he had in his crib,
pictures and shit,
I was like, yo.
And the escape plan in the safe of having multiple fucking passports in the safe, that shit was like.
Yeah. He knew he had it in his mind. He had it already planned. He's like, look, if I'm ever going to go down, there's going to be a lot of motherfuckers coming down with me.
You see where he was going to escape to? Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
They found the fucking address, a new address for him and shit in the Saudi Arabia address. That's where he was going. But that's where that ticket was going.
Yo, and that was his final bailout plan, because they even said when he was on the stand, they said for bail, they were like, we'll give up everything, like literally everything if we could just get out of jail. Like all the money, everything, all the property, everything, if we could just get out of jail. And they were still like, no.
It's fucking money, man.
Anybody
that says money can't buy you out of trouble is fucking full of shit, man.
You know why they say that? Because they want you to believe that, because the reality and the truth is money will get you any fucking thing you want. To the person
Truth.
that doesn't have a fucking moral in their body.
Right.
Yeah.
Down to people buying a fucking person, bro. Somebody's willing to sell that. Somebody's fucking selling their kid, man. What was sick too? Somebody fucking in France who fucking sent the two 12-year-olds for his birthday.
Yeah.
Hey, happy birthday. There's a group of motherfuckers that are sick doing shit like that, man.
Yeah.
Like you said, the stolen.
But you see how to us is that is kind of hard to swallow, for us. But in certain parts of the world, that's a way of life.
That's insane, though. There's morals, man.
Life in some parts of the world. You know what I mean?
That's not giving a fuck about your kid, man. Look, I don't give a fuck about you. We need to pay bills, and I gotta sell your ass to this fucking grown ass man. Like people do shit like that.
And that's how he saw it. He saw like, well, in these other countries where I visit, this is okay. Like I don't get frowned, bro. In Thailand, because there's a guy at my job at UPS. He goes there every year, right? This guy's about 60-something years old, still going to Thailand for his vacation, right? He goes. He goes to the place he rents out. The very next step he's going to is the brothel. Stays in the brothel, comes back home. That's what he does. That's what he does.
Goes to bang it out in Thailand.
You know what I'm saying?
And what's crazy over there is there's a big underage sex trafficking shit over there.
And he comes back and he's like, yeah, the girls, they're young, this, that, and the third, but it's legal.
It's insane.
You know what I'm saying? So a guy from America with morals, right, goes on a trip like that and sees that'll fuck up your psyche, man. You'll be like, whoa, wait. Telling it like, for real? This shit, you get away type of shit? That could fuck your mind up a little bit, man. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
But my thing is, it's got to be the morals of some sorts, man.
Of course.
You know what I mean? If you go over there like, what? Motherfuckers is fucking children over here. This is cool. Like, if you that kind of nigga, man, you need to get your shit cut open and fucking, you know what I mean? Worked on and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Reconnected.
Like, that should never be the approach. Like, hey, guys, listen, man, over there in Thailand, they got these 12-year-olds. Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, anybody that's got a sensibility about them of knowing that delicate age of somebody, man, and no fucking kid want no shit like that, man.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing, and you know what I'm saying. So these people with this money that can reach out and go to these type of places or see these type of things. You know what I'm saying? They just take it as it's a normal thing.
I hear what you're saying. Like, depending on the amount of money that you have is the amount of scope of the world that you can have too. Like to where you experience different things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why I said, man, anything's obtainable with the flow, man, the cash flow, and that's insane. And you buy it, and how far up? The more money you got, you can buy your way up the ranks, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like you get into that. When you're a billionaire, you're basically now the government. You got more money than motherfuckers in the government, man. So if you want to hit a politician up like, yo, I need you to make this shit go away. Here's $1.5 million. You don't think that motherfucker gonna take that shit? That's all. You know what I mean? What's 1.5 to a billionaire? Yo, that's like me giving you fucking $10 for something to eat. You know?
hey, and we didn't hit upon how he was buddy with Trump.
He was buddy with Trump. He was buddy with Clinton, with Bill Gates, with fucking way too many people. Oh, and you know what wasn't in the fucking documentary that should have been? Was the fucking painting of Bill Clinton in the fucking dress. Why wasn't that shit in the fucking documentary? Did I miss it? Was I not looking?
I heard about it. That was supposed to be in the island resort, right? In the island?
We're about to look this up.
I think it was in the island,
I think it was. But, to have that much
it was at the island.
To me, like, when he's getting a 16, 17-year-old, you think about a senior or somebody in high school, a 16, 17-year-old ain't got shit going on, or somebody that thinks they can get something in life. This guy's being nice to me, he wants to help me. It's fucked up to say, but some of them are going to be willing to do what they did. And I mean, it's just really regretful now.
Like, come on. Dude, he knew. Like, come on. You're getting these girls. You're in Palm Beach, West Palm Beach. You know what I'm saying? Over the bridge is the hood. Right across the bridge, you're right in the hood.
Yep.
Nothing to get any of those girls that were, you know what I'm saying, ain't having.
One girl, her
like it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered because they're like, okay, where we going?
I'm just looking at this goddamn fish. That's the real painting, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You
not
think-
Photoshop.
Oh, come on. That's
nothing.
what it is. That's what it looks like.
That was the fucking painting that they found at fucking Epstein's Island of Bill Clinton. And you're talking about he's been on the plane 26 times. What the fuck?
Yo, Bill was into some freaky shit, man. There was freaky shit there too. They said he was bisexual. They asked him about that. Remember that guy that came out and said they had a relationship. You know, when they start getting bored with his money, he just like, what else could I do? Well, maybe I'll just go suck a dick today. I don't know. You know, like
now, how he was talking
bro,
about
how he was talking the White House, bro. That's Hillary's dress, bro.
Yeah. And remember how Epstein was talking about like people can't fuck with him, people owe him favors, all that shit.
Yeah.
Imagine having this in your shit. Like he probably looked down on Bill Clinton like he was a fucking peon to him, you know? Like he's like, no, I got shit over people that everything's gonna be okay.
Fucking talk to me like that. I'll fucking blast this painting everywhere. You don't want that, do you? You know, these are the type of things that he's
exactly
right. I'll flip this coffee table over. You like this centerpiece, don't you? I'll fucking punch your cat in the face. Oh yeah.
That was amazing.
That was.
I'm telling you, like, why wasn't that in the fucking documentary? That shit annoyed the fuck out of me because
you know why?
I understand, like, they didn't go into like what they found in that house.
Right.
Because Bill Clinton is painted as this choir boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he was the better president before all the Bush. You know, before Bush and everything left.
But Monica fucked him up though. He didn't get that. His jacket wasn't that damn clean. It wasn't definitely not as clean as her dress.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So the only stain, I didn't mean to make a pun about it, but the only stain is was with Monica, with the Lewinsky scandal.
So Bill got some freaky ways about him. So that it can't. You don't know how deep that shit could go. It could go deeper than that.
Now let's put the pieces together, fellas. You hear about the scandal with him with Monica Lewinsky and what happened, right?
Yep.
Now
she kept the dress.
Now,
yes, the dress.
You hear what's going on in his affiliations with Epstein.
Yep. And there were plenty more women. There were plenty more women that Bill was fucking connected to. Linda Tripp, all that. Yeah, come on.
And let's not forget about over the pond and check on princes. What was that? Prince Edward was his name?
Yeah.
Prince. I don't. And then when they bust out the motherfucking, well, that's you in the picture. I don't
recall. I don't remember.
I have no memory.
I remember taking the picture, but I don't remember taking that picture.
With her. Yeah.
What? Well, I don't remember that at all. So it's Photoshop? We running with Prince?
Yo.
He's like, I remember the place. Yeah, I remember it. I remember being there. I remember this. But when the girl says, she was, I don't remember the girl. But she said, look, this is the picture. Oh, no, I don't remember that picture. I don't remember her. I don't know who she is.
He said that it couldn't be him because he doesn't sweat. She said he was on top of me and he was raping me and he was sweating all over me and it was nasty and it was disgusting. And in his interview, he goes, no,
it can't be me.
It can't be me because I don't sweat. I didn't rape her because I don't sweat. Holy shit.
Case closed. Boom, I don't sweat. Put me on a treadmill right now in the courtroom. I'll prove it to you.
No, but that's how he covered his ass. He just went, well, at least at that time. So he didn't say, no, I don't sweat forever. He just, because I don't sweat, at least at that time.
My thing is like,
what the fuck are you talking about?
That was it. And they left it alone.
But I see no kind of faults because that girl there, she's the one too. She's been around for a couple of years. My thing is like, at that
she was
point,
around a lot of people.
You were doing it to get money because you were like a little older at that point. You know what I'm saying? It's because you say, I was 16 when I first started. Okay, but now you're like 19, 20, and you're still kind of rocking with them. You can't say you're not there getting like you wasn't willing, almost like you was willing to do it, even though you shouldn't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I understand that's where all the bleeding hearts come in with like, well, she's been taught this way, I get, I get both sides. It's tough.
Manipulated in a way to do so, but at some point you got to be free. If that's, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It shouldn't take 4 years of you getting sexually abused and you realize it's wrong. But if you got a motherfucker dangling millions in money and everything, you don't need anything. You put anything you want to keep your fucking mouth shut. Some people are willing to take that and are scared to admit that they're willing to take that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I hope that's not the case with these girls. By all means, I hope it's not the case with a lot of them. But
And
sometimes you gotta look at that.
with that girl in particular, the blonde chick.
The tall girl who started crying and said she was raped by the water. Her, I don't think I believed as much.
Oh, the brunette chick, the skinny one with the
With the
red
jacked up
hair.
teeth?
Yeah, with the red hair.
I couldn't stop looking at her teeth. I'm sorry, that's bad. But you know, that was a bad joke. But no, but her, almost like I felt her tears didn't feel real. Almost, I don't know. Sometimes, man, when you see somebody, I've run into people that've been through that kind of pain, and I see reactions, and I know a real reaction. I'm not saying hers isn't authentic, but it felt staged a little bit. I don't know.
The blonde chick, the one that was the Prince.
The one that had a slick back. Her too. I think she was a little suspect too. The slick back blonde.
Yeah, the one that was with the Prince.
She said she was 21, right? Because she said she was 21 when she first linked up with him.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she was all fucked up. What I get from her, all right, she went through all this shit with the dude and all this and all that, right? My thing with her is this. I think she was seeing him starting to get into his shit, like starting to get into trouble.
Yep.
Because you gotta know and you gotta see. You're there. You gotta know he's getting, so she figured before shit hits the fan, let me get out. And maybe that was her doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
my thing was like, man, you can't, if you know it's wrong and you're trapped in it, at least you have to have some kind of conscience to help out the next young girl that you know it's fucking happening to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know he does this. You know what he does. And you're around it for 3-4 years of him doing it. And you're not even hurting yourself. You're hurting them too because you're not saying nothing.
But that's what I'm saying. How about the girl that they recruited, right?
Yeah.
And she went, and when Epstein turned around on and all that, she was like, "Whoa, I don't get down like that," right?
Yeah. And they sent him.
All right, well, check this out. You got the 200 right there. Go give me some. Go
give me some that do. Go give me some that do.
She said she brought him. She said she brought him like 40 to 60.
Yeah, just that one.
That one girl. She brought like at least 40 herself. Now, where's her fucking morals? And where's her conscience, knowing what he's about? Like, come on, people. You know,
there's a lot of moving parts. I agree. Right. Yeah, it's not just him. There's a lot of moving parts.
Right. And it's like, I get it. I would hope that that's why they're coming forward, because the guilt ate them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they're not, I feel like I'm not getting that.
They're not 100% innocent.
They're not admitting that. They're not admitting that of like, hey, we're not taking away from him being a fucked up person, because he is, and what he's doing is fucked up. But you got to be like, I was fucked up, and why was I still around? Because I was attracted and lured to the money. I didn't really hear nobody say that. You know what I mean?
Or their situation. There was only one, the Rivera chick. The Rivera chick was like, yeah, I needed the money, so I kept going.
With the pink hair, the chick with the pink hair.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? To me, she was the one that kept it 100.
She was real. She was really
like,
real.
I needed money, so I was there.
Yeah, you know what I mean? The life I was living, I wasn't, I was doing it for the money. I needed the money. That's why I was doing it. But then after a while, it started becoming sickening.
Right.
And I liked what she said at the end too, when she was just like, I'm not saying you didn't deserve to be punished, none of that stuff, but this wasn't the ending that anybody wanted either.
Right.
Yeah. When she was like, yeah, people wanted to, like, imagine that. He's even on trial and like a couple of girls get to say what they want to say. Then he dies. Then the rest of the girls get to say it to fucking his lawyer, when it's like
I think that first one that went for the first complaint, that's why they went back to her, that was in 95.
95 and 6, yeah.
95. Yeah. Yo, they've been waiting for how long? They finally got the motherfucker in 2019, and he goes and kills himself because he want to take a bitch away. He want to be a bitch because he now he don't want to face the music. You know what I mean?
Yo, so imagine how many fucking girls that is, though, bro. 25 years of fucking madness.
Of doing that.
How many girls is that?
That's a sickness he's been feeding for a long time, man. A fucking demonic shit, man. And then he took that way out. Because he was, and then what I found really fucked up is when he did the will, how he moved his money around, so none of them could get any fucking money from it. And that fucked up.
Yeah, that right there, the will.
That was fucked up.
that right there, when he did that, I don't know if that is true or not. You know what I'm saying? But I think by him doing that tells us that okay, he could have committed the suicide, because before I saw this, when I heard the news, I was that motherfucker got, you know what I mean, somebody killed his ass, because
Yeah.
you know, it was more believable that scenario because, you know, of his influence in the shit and the information he knew. Somebody, you know, to shut his ass up, because you know that was he used to flaunt that. That was his bargaining. That was his bargaining.
Yep.
Yeah. You're gonna shut the fuck up because I got this, and I got this. So and not only that, in his crib, nobody knew but him. But everything had every room at fucking mansion of his had cameras.
When they were showing, she was talking about in the wall. She's like, hidden in the fucking indents.
Every fucking guest he ever had there, every guest he had there that was doing that shit, he got footage of.
Yeah. Every conversations they have about anything.
Where does footage go? Oh, I feel like this is because this is so fresh.
Fucked up. He had them on there. He had them by the balls.
Yo, when they said, and he had all the bathrooms too, like, yo, bring up Bill Clinton taking a dump real quick. You know, like, run that footage back. They got it. It's
crazy. Continue, man. This ain't the last we're gonna hear from this shit, man. I think some shit's gonna spill out because people want because of him not doing this. Like, all right, but we gotta get some answers. We can do something.
Well, you know now, since he got exposed, now everybody else is kind of sweating because this is bigger than him. Like this is a global thing. Like
these things checked out, so he can't no longer be in the mix.
I'll say I'm still out to lunch on I don't know if he killed himself or not, because especially with that, there was the second what's the name of the guy that looks over the body? What the fuck is
medical examiner?
Yeah, they did two of those, and both guys came up with different shit. One said, yeah, he killed him. Then the other guy's like, well, the bones that were broken in his neck, he wouldn't do that. It would be someone would have to, there'd be
right. It had to be forced for it to break like that. Usually, typically, it doesn't look like that when it's somebody kills himself.
And because how we've talked before about like when the story works too well, but in real life, like it makes so much sense for him to be dead because the amount of shit that he has on famous fucking people. Bro, like we didn't hear anything about like he didn't drop no fucking magnet bomb and erase everything of all the footage he has. So the police that went and grabbed all that shit, that footage exists of all the celebrities that he had on his island, had dinner with, all that footage exists. So that's gonna be nuts. Like if they do something with it.
Right. Yeah. It's just a lot of politics are involved with that, man, and money just fucking moves people around.
The local congressman, you know what I mean, can be, you know, with this
out there
trafficking thing, you know.
How many of those guys are out there, man? You know what I mean? That they fucking. He's not the only one. That shit. There's a fucking. A group
it's not like they caught him and then they were like, all right, well, it's done. Nobody does this anymore. You know what I mean? Like
the last one.
And now I believe about the Pizzagate and all this other shit with Hillary and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Tom Hanks disappeared, dog. Tom Hanks disappeared. That motherfucker has not been on anything.
Yep.
That's crazy. That chick, even the blonde chick, moved to Australia.
Yeah.
Fled that. You know what I mean? And you thinking that's why I believe in all those threats that they were getting. Oh yeah, that's real. You definitely sending threats.
That same chick did an interview in Australia for 60 Minutes where they brought her back to the crib.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? And she just started like having
of course.
She had a fucking meltdown. She's like, yo, this needs to be burned. This shouldn't be up.
Right.
Blah 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 blah.
But you know, you gotta give it to somebody. It's like when they're going through it, you know, and I just wanted somebody to just admit that or just even say, hey, listen, I felt it was normal at the time when I was doing it because I didn't know no better. You know what I mean? That's all. I just didn't hear that from some of them. You know what I mean? Like you said, except for the pink hair, she kept it 100. You're like, listen, I was fucked up in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I needed it. So whatever, I came from an abusive, that broke down. You know what I mean? some of them girls, like their backdrop didn't seem like that. They said I had a messed up upbringing, but like they didn't get in depth about it. How deep was it? Or you just saying it, or you know?
Or you just painting this picture so people can feel
Right.
bad for you?
I feel like the girls that aren't coming forward are the ones that, you know what I mean, are feeling the worst about the shit too. You know what I mean?
Well, I will say as well, like it fucks me up to think that there could be a 14-year-old girl out there that fucking gets swayed that easily of was like, hey, do you want to make a couple $100? We just have to go to this guy's house and give him a massage. Like, yo, if I had a daughter and she was 14 and was like, okay, I'd be like, yo, we're done. Sorry, fuck it. Yeah, like I haven't done my job.
Hey, listen, I remember being younger, man, when we were younger and, you know, when we were 14, 15, we knew the girls that were 14, 15 that was getting it in. You know what I'm saying? That were like, because of what X, Y, and Z, whatever background, whatever fucked up shit they had going on, that's why they were moving like that. You know what I'm saying? Where they would lie about their age, you know.
Yeah.
Chicks with that. I lied about my age to get with a guy that's older. You know what I mean? And that would really, you can put that motherfucker in a situation too. So it's fault at certain parts of things. But you got to understand where the root of why some of them are like that, man. You know what I mean?
Yep. Tooted and booted.
And now the world of sex trafficking is under a microscope.
It should have never left the microscope. You know what I mean? You know, I funny when I saw one of the
hold on, real quick. If you don't write a sci-fi movie called "It Should Have Never Left the Microscope," right at the end of the world. Is this COVID? Write it.
Everything we looked at should have never left the microscope.
You're right.
Should have never left the microscope, because that needs to be the line in the movie when there's like, "Oh, it's coming! Oh, it should have never left the microscope." Right there,
big bold letters and shit.
That's it, Kurt.
Oh man, no, but I was saying if somebody had a sign up, the young lady, and you know, everybody has, you know, when the Black Lives Matter movement, a lot of different signs you've seen, but this one was kind of cool. It was like she was like, some of y'all acting like she's. I'm glad some of y'all something about y'all just woke, but y'all been woke for the last 155 years. You just kept hitting the snooze button. Like,
the snooze button. Yeah.
That was a pretty dope one. I'm like, ooh. Yeah. Y'all been woke. Stop. You ain't just woke. Y'all been woke for 155 years. You just been hitting the snooze button, looking the other way. Hey, you gonna do with me?
True.
So I thought that was. I was like, oh, so I don't know that. Science just made me think of science. Sorry,
guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Epstein, man, and that. But you know what's crazy? That footage they showed of him on the stretcher. Like, where they do that at though? Like the dead body. He was already dead. Why would they show a picture of him on the stretcher dead? That was weird.
That shit is weird.
You don't really see that too often. Like, you know what I mean?
That's
if
another.
He's dead already, he's pronounced dead in that cell block. You leave out of there.
The way how they did that was all suspect, brother.
That was. It's like when he killed himself in the fucking jail. Oh, he coming out zipped up. He's not coming out on the stretcher. He coming out zipped up.
Right.
So I didn't understand that one. I don't know if that footage was from somewhere else, but it looked like they strategically showed this fake body, maybe, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
money, that makes you think like that motherfucker got money. He probably fucking did fake his death, man, and he's fucking living in a remote island somewhere.
It wouldn't surprise me, brother.
Bro, and he's 66 years old, so how much time he got left? He gonna live out the rest of it. He gonna live the next fucking 20, 30 years on an island remotely somewhere, just fucking having
love.
Well, it's also a question of like, where is Ghislaine Maxwell?
Right,
where the fuck is she? Because she popped back up. She popped back up at an In-N-Out in California, and she was reading a book, something about who works for the CIA. We're gonna find it. We have to find that picture.
But I guess they stopped pressing her. She's off the grid now. We don't need to press Dizzy.
Which only screams out, "What the fuck?" You know?
Yes.
I mean? Like,
yes.
You know what I'm saying? That shit only hits you with like, huh?
Now I wonder if she was in the will and getting some money. Because then that's like, yo, remember, die with these secrets. I'll pay you.
Yeah. But then it makes me think, did he fake his death and now they're fucking back?
Now they're together again.
Did they just both disappear together on some fucking island somewhere and just say, fuck it?
Is she?
This was the last picture of her in
Remember, this shit just happened in
out.
fucking August
last year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
This shit's fucking so fresh, man. This ain't even got a scab on it. This shit's fucking that thin skin over the wound.
Damn, I want to find the book that she was reading because that shit it was something about the CIA. Like
Somebody caught her reading a book about the CIA and the fucking.
No, it wasn't caught. It wasn't caught. It was like obvious setup of
gotcha.
You know, like, hey, this is what I'm doing.
Like a photo. Do a photo op with these motherfuckers, man. Yo, start your morning off with grapes. The muffin was key, but that's not what you need. Breakfast grapes. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about.
And she had, I guess when she was showing the book, there were 2 drinks next to her, but she was only there. It's supposed to be some type of, some type of symbolism, I guess.
Right.
But I can't find the fucking name of the book that she was reading.
To say that nowadays, man, we should be able to overcome and conquer more of these people that do this shit. It still proves that, hey, as long as you got a fucking dollar bill, a big dollar bill to wave around, man, people look the other way.
For a long time, it seems, right?
A long time. How many associates he had, like his assistants, people that worked the grounds, like that guy that said, I know I saw Bill Clinton. I knew who Bill Clinton was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the key. To him, I think he was the key guy out of everything.
Right. And then when they were like, well, he was like, listen, when that one dude said that to me, he goes, man, how old are your daughters? He said 15 and 13. He goes, would you want them over here? And he said he fucking thought about that and just felt like shit, like, damn, I quit the next day, man. But at that point, that conscience should have overlapped and you should have came a little forward. But I get it though, man. It could be scary going after a billionaire, man. How the fuck you got, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
This man can be fucking killed, man. He could fuck your whole life or fuck your credit up, fuck with your bank. You know what I mean? Like, really shuts you shit down.
Absolutely.
You got money like that, you know what I mean?
Yo, this is the book that she was reading. It was called The Book of Honor, The Secret Lives and Deaths of CIA Operatives. What the fuck does that shit mean? Because that's what people are saying is, once again, is how the fuck did Jeffrey Epstein get his money? Why was he, how did he move up so quick? And none of it makes sense. Some people think he might have worked for the CIA. Weird shit like that, because how many politicians that he must have video of and all that shit.
He's got a lot of them, man. And, those guys are cut from that fucking cloth. I feel like it's almost a cloth of some of those guys, man. Like, they're from that fucking era of being those kind of people. And, what I mean? And it just into, like, fucking sick things. Like, like, you look at old, like, Greek mythology or that kind of era, the Renaissance era art. They have a lot of nudity, young girls, nudity paintings. You know what I mean? And, these guys are from refined schools and they're into that art world. And, and they're like, oh, yes, this is hot. These young girls are painting in nude. You know what I mean? It's almost like,
yeah.
Even like the girl, I don't know. I understand, like, the body's beautiful. It's nudity. That's art. Naked is funny. Like, that's how I heard one of them describe it before. But, like, the girl that was the painter, and then it's like, you're giving this guy that, I don't know, that was kind of sickly, a painting of your sister that's modeling naked?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
She didn't know it at the time. That's right. I'll give her that. She didn't know it. But I don't know.
This day it was kind of weird, but they did it anyway.
Right. But that's art. I see it in art galleries. You've seen it before. There's paintings of nude young women from way back when. They put it up as art. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
But you think about it, that's probably, that shit was a sickness back then. It probably was a sickness way back then.
And that's what she was saying. She's like, I had this guy, he said he wanted to give me a lot of money for a painting. She was an inspiring painter at the time. She was just starting. You know what I mean? So and that's the thing too. Like, he knew who to pick on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he knew, all right, this one doesn't have, she needs a little help. So you know what? Let me go help her out.
It's all needs. What you need? You trying to get where in life? You trying to get there?
Exactly.
I can help you do that. I could put you one of the best, the best art school out? Oh, yeah. I could get you in that. You think she's not going to be thankful and then feel like she knows what she's doing is wrong, but, like, I can't not show my thankfulness? You know what I mean? Like,
at that point, it almost becomes a back and forth transaction. Yeah.
Right. It becomes like this thing, like, he is kind of, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, I don't want to, but
and that's exactly the game.
But
that's the game. Yeah.
And then they become older and more mature and really sinks in like, wow, maybe they become parents now. They have kids and like, now this is really fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like that was fucked up and nobody have to. He's keep doing this shit. You know. So,
and that was the thing with that girl too. The first one, like after they brought her to the mansion in Ohio, I think it was, and the big mansion and shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Where he was at, where Giselle was at, whatever, just laying or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Then she was seeing the shit go down, and then you know how she got nerve, and then she felt like all fucked up, and she bounced back to New York.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because she's like, wait a minute, I'm coming here to paint. I'm not coming here to do the shit.
Rub downs and shit.
Yeah, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to paint. What's up with the painting?
Right. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yo, she brought a whole fucking box truck full of paint, man. It's like she brought a box truck full of paint and canvases and shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck is up with the painting?
What's up with the painting? You know, like that's what I'm here for. That's what you told me I was supposed to do here.
Nigga said, put the brush down,
and stroke some old guy off. What the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
With the paint?
She peeled, man.
I think that was part of their like dance is they would try to put somebody in the position where they felt like they couldn't say no. And even though it was a weird situation, uncomfortable situation.
Move. I'm gonna box you in, and I know what you really want right now, what you're striving to get, and I'm gonna box you in because you know I can help you get that.
Yeah.
So
or this could end all right now if you don't, you know.
So you're gonna it's a pimp move, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's no other way to like that's a pimp's mentality. Pimp is gonna get in your mind and let you know that what you're doing, he wants you to believe that it's right to do.
Yeah.
And I got your back no matter what. So regardless, don't worry about nobody give a fuck about you. I do. And what you're doing is the right thing to do. And it's for us, not you. And me.
Yeah. Remember in one of the conversations with the lawyers, the deposition where he's like, you celebrated Virginia whatever's 16th birthday with her. Don't tell you know what I mean? Like they were describing the shit that he was doing. Right. That shit is nasty. Like, yo, you're 50 whatever years old. You're celebrating this girl's 16th birthday with her, and then you go and like that's
it's bad, man. And he's
but
not.
I still think we've only scratched the surface because I'm telling you how deep that shit has to go with the famous people and the celebrities and the politicians. Like
it's a ravine of lies. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm saying I don't mean to be the bad guy here, but
you gotta go.
Gotta get that cut.
The cat's gotta get the cut.
Cat's gotta get the cut.
No. I wasn't gonna say that, but I was gonna say that Oprah was on the list.
Oh yes.
No.
Oprah was on the list.
Oprah was on the list.
Listen, I had pulled up the list. Let me go back and find this
Oprah
list.
was smuggling some little young African girls from her school out there doing some dumb shit.
Come on.
Oprah. He was spending time in Africa. Remember this?
You might be opening up another can of worms there, pal.
You don't brought Oprah name up. I'm saying Oprah just was, you know, they said people came and went, though. They said people just came. It wasn't always just like everybody that came there was for girls. They said people who came there a lot. He had to make it look good. You know, this is what I do. I entertain. Come out to my island. Let's talk business.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Bro, and you know.
I mean, hold up now. He did have Weinstein a lot with him.
Well,
you know Harv.
You know Harv.
Come on.
We know his story. You know
what I mean? And who's the famous woman that he has hugging him? You know what I'm saying? In a lot of his pictures.
Which one?
Oprah.
It is crazy, but that's been out there.
They didn't have him in that documentary.
Who? Weinstein?
No, Oprah.
No, they didn't have her in it, but she was on the. But the names, but you know, she was just a name on the list.
Right. Chris
you know
Tucker,
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, she was real close and had close connections with Weinstein. And Weinstein was a close partner to this guy, right? But here's the fucked up thing about it. When Weinstein got pinched, when Epstein got pinched, everybody was like, no, that's not, I don't know him like that. He's, you know, nah. I never had associations with that guy. Jeffrey,
Oh, yeah. All of them. You see Trump shit? Trump said we had a fallout 15 years ago.
You know what I'm saying? I haven't spoken to him in 15 years.
How convenient. How convenient. 15 years ago. Huh? Okay. When did the allegations start? About 15 years ago? Yeah, that's when we stopped talking. Right about that. Right about that time. That was about that.
Yo, so what do you think? What was Akon doing on the? What was Akon doing on the plane? They got Akon up here.
Akon's.
Fuck it, Anthony Kiedis. Yo, and
what the hell was he on the plane for?
Barack Obama was on that plane. He's on that list.
That's why you say, man, how many? It's a lot of them are.
Yo, all right, let me go through a couple real quick. So Barack Obama, Ben Affleck, Beyonce Knowles, Bill Clinton, Bill Murray, Charlie Sheen, Chris Tucker, Chrissy Teigen, Courtney Love, Demi Moore. Who else we got? I'm just trying to go with names that we know, you know. James Franco, he's an actor.
Yeah, I know, man.
Jim Carrey, Jimmy Kimmel. And Jimmy Kimmel just took
John Legend,
off his shit.
John Legend, John Cusack.
Yep. Kathy Griffin, Katy Perry.
Griffin, like what the fuck?
Kevin Spacey, and he's known as a fucking pedophile.
Your boy, Mr. Hanks.
Don't fuck with my nigga, man. Don't you talk about Tom, nigga.
Tommy Hanks.
Don't you fucking talk about Tom, nigga.
Yo, I don't like.
Will Smith,
I don't
Will
like him,
Ferrell,
but
Woody Allen.
Yo, right here
though.
though.
You gotta remember, he was connected, man. He's you can't.
Even Pharrell was in this motherfucker.
Yo, and they got right here, Marshall Mathers III. Eminem's been on this goddamn plane. What the fuck?
Did that shit.
Meryl Streep, Naomi Campbell, Oprah Winfrey, like you said, man. This shit is.
Well,
Quentin
Tarantino went with John Legend, so unless they did some freaky shit together.
Bro, you never know if they're just like, yo,
Steven
baby,
Tyler,
you and
Steven
a fucking
Spielberg.
12-year-old.
Ooh.
Will Smith, that shit, that fucks with me. Will Smith, Will Ferrell.
You know what the fuck Woody was doing there.
Yeah. But no,
Baldwin. Like, are you fucking kidding me, man?
Yeah. Like, I don't like seeing Will Smith's name up there. I'll be honest with you there. I don't like seeing Will Ferrell's name up there. That's annoying to me.
Yo, I don't mean to get off topic, but there's a lot of secretive shit about Will Ferrell, man, that is not in a good light.
I ain't really seen none of that.
Yo, those dinners? What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, he goes to dinners and shit where, man, we got to get on these with Maria Abramovich where they pretend to eat human beings. It's some weird shit, bro.
What the fuck is that?
Out one time, and this party, they brought a cake, right?
Bro,
it was cake. It was a red velvet lie, right? But it was shaped as a naked woman.
Yeah.
And basically, it was a symbolism as a ritual. You know what I'm saying? And they would
cut it open and it oozed out the fucking the lava cake in the middle.
It'd be red, you know what I'm saying, and shit. You know, so basically, that was the symbolism of like cannibalism and type shit. You know what I'm saying?
So they just use cake to symbolize what they really want to do?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Man. Well, I'm talking about
listen, man.
Rich people.
If people make pornos off of food and wearing furry animal heads and fucking and tails and shit, man, the sky's the limit with shit, man, with people. There's a thing called called Rule 61 or something, it's supposed to be like this rule that's, in the underground world of anything you could think of, there's a fetish for it. It's got a name. It's like called Rule something. Anything you could think of. Oh, popcorn? Yeah, somebody got a fetish for popcorn. They shove popcorn balls up their twat. It's a thing. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody's like rubbing Brillo pads on their balls because it's a fetish. And it's probably a little group of them niggas that do this shit.
Right?
Group of them. Why's it gotta be a group?
I feel when you Brillo it out, you need a handful of people to
yeah, there it is right there.
To be legit.
Bro, they do these weird fucking parties with these bodies that made out of cake and they fucking cut into them and shit.
Oh, they're like fucking life-size cake.
Yeah, life-size people.
Fuck, dude. I thought it was just like a torso.
Person, but then when
I thought it was just like a torso, like just the midsection. It's the whole fucking body.
The whole naked
look
girl.
at this shit over here.
Naked
The cake is a fucking whole naked girl.
Yep.
Yeah.
What
And
the
they're
fuck?
like cutting into it. And,
And
shit,
they
it's called
call in there
spirit
cut a piece.
cooking.
You know
And what are these people
They
called?
show
What is
one
this?
guy cutting the nipple off. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, this is called Hollywood. That's what that shit is called. It's
Oh, I
all
thought
these.
there was like a certain group of them that do this, or
No. This
It's
is like a
that's
sacred.
exactly what it is. It's rich, famous people in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like it's all rich and famous people. Like it's
I
shit.
could, you know what I could see doing that? It's like if it was a graduation for a party, if it was a graduation party for people that just graduated to go to be a fucking people that work on bodies. Yeah, that's the thing. They fucking played with dead bodies for their whole thing, and now they're like, hey, we finally graduated. A surgeon or some shit. Hey, look what I
Let's
got.
eat
I'm a
one.
surgeon graduated, and we got a body here with organs that's edible. Yeah, that's funny. I get the joke, but I don't get it with celebrity. I don't. It's not a joke.
That's
it's real.
society,
Nah.
baby. All we ask is trust.
I just want vanilla cake with fucking chocolate frosting.
That doesn't look like a person.
Actually, my favorite is yellow cake with chocolate frosting. That's my go-to.
That's a good and listen, I haven't drank real milk in fucking years. I went to almond milk, but that cake that you're talking about with a cup of D milk, that vitamin D, give me that cream milk. Like, oh,
you got to talk about the frosted glass in the freezer.
I was just about to say that.
no doubt.
Talk about it. How Epstein brought me here, I don't even know.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is to spoiler alert, Epstein died in jail, as we already talked about, and I enjoyed it. So I would say, does anybody have a suggestion on what to watch this week for next week?
Yeah. What about you guys? What you guys got?
Who was the last one I had? I watched the one called the 13th. It's called the 13th Amendment or something. That was it talked about like gangs and shit at the end of civil rights and how neighborhoods got fucked up and broken apart. That was something else, but I don't know, man. We want to dive into. I mean, we could look up a couple things, toss it out there. I like that story you said before, P, about the girl that did that stretch for something she didn't do, but they charged her as an adult.
Toya Brown story.
Toya Brown story.
Yeah.
What's that on Netflix?
She was a 12-year-old prostitute. The summary is she was a 12-year-old prostitute. She had a John. Supposedly, what she was saying, her John was being a little bit extra, a little bit violent. So she when the John went to sleep or whatever, she went under the bed, grabbed the gun that she found, that she said that he had, and she found, and shot him and killed him. You know what I'm saying? And she was behind bars, and then behind bars they was trying to petition her to get her out to this and that. Then as you see, famous people and things like that get involved, and then brings the case to light,
Nice.
and it's history from there. But the inner workings of that is just crazy. Like the way how system at the time, how crazy it was. Her actual situation, how she got to where she was to get herself into that predicament. All that whole shit is crazy.
Yeah, I see. That sounds like a good one. I saw a couple other ones too. Which ones are good, man? When they start going into like the food industry, those are good.
That's
what I mean?
That's another one. The Bourdain one too. Anthony Bourdain joint.
Yeah.
That one.
And that's another comes back to the Clintons too. Like he was on Twitter murdering fucking her before. Yeah, it's all weird.
And Bourdain got a lot of secrets too. Even though he was a food guy, but he dipped and dabbled and had some secrets and shit too. That's why his death was kind of suspect and had me like, what? Because to me, he looked like he loved what he was doing.
Right.
Then he wound up dead just like that. It's kind of fishy. But that's another show.
Yeah. True. I like the one about the not to sound crass, but I like the one about the 12-year-old prostitute. I say we go with that.
That's crazy that they charge her like that. Send wherever it's at. The link, we'll find it. We'll watch
it's on that. Her shit is on Netflix too.
Netflix.
Yep. And what was her name again?
Got a lot of docs, man. We might have to live off Netflix. We have to Toya Brown. We might have to promote for Netflix, man, they got a lot of good docs.
Yep, Toya Brown, man. It's great. And then after that, you know what I'm saying, Khalif Bowder, the kid that was 16 that got locked up for a book bag in Rikers Island. You know,
Oh yeah, that was when Jay-Z got involved, right?
Yeah, that was one of the first ones that Jay-Z got involved with. Actually, I think he was first.
Oh yeah, well, there's a bunch we can go on. We can go back, forth and back. We can go back to the '70s documentaries. They got shit from way back. We got docs from last year. I see Epstein was fucking real recent. That was that was crazy. So
yo, you know what we should do one time? Maybe if we ever dared to be in the same room together, but watching Reefer Madness would be great. Because Reefer Madness was back in the day put out as a documentary on the truths of smoking weed and what it'll do to you. But I'm telling you, this was like a 40s fucking film where it's like, and if white women smoke weed, they might run to the black man, and it's like it's crazy, like it's complete propaganda. Yeah,
that's crazy.
But it's all about the dangers of smoking weed, because weed was not pushed aside for health reasons, all that. It was all about the paper industry. But that'd be one to definitely get into. But we have to smoke and watch it because it's so ridiculous.
Listen. These docs are gonna turn into that. We're gonna turn these docs into actually sitting down watching a doc together.
Yeah,
smoking docs. We won't call it smoking
Dre.
docs.
But it looks like I found it here. Murder to Mercy, the Centoya Brown story, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's the one that we got to watch.
All right, morning like hot sauce. Bloop. Yo, you got 7 minutes to get to the barbershop, me.
All right. Let them know I'm a little
they usually got somebody in the chair anyways right before you. Got a little 10-minute window sometimes. Yeah.
Guys, it's always good to have, it's always good being with you guys, man. Thanks for having me.
Hell yes.
Hey, once again, y'all, this is Docs with Phat Cat, and we got episodes coming to y'all weekly. Yeah, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Like, share, subscribe, do it.
Another episode down, you know what I'm saying?
She concurs. She agrees.
Knows.
All right, be safe, family.
All right, my guys.
All right.
See you guys later.
All right.